guys. It is April the 2nd, 2024, and today, like I said, I've got a little bit different of a video for you guys. We went to a place called Redcliff Plantation, which is here in South Carolina. It's right on the South Carolina-Georgia border. We just got home from going out there. I took my boys. It's spring break right now for all the kids here in South Carolina. They do it every single year to coincide with the Augusta Nationals, the Masters, which I think is next week. But anyway, we went out there today, checked it out. I got a whole bunch of video. I know this is a little bit different than what I usually do for my videos, but I just thought that I would take my kids out there today and spend the day with them. And it gave me an opportunity just to get a lot of film and show you guys something that's really neat to the area that I live in. Now, I don't live right there where that's at. It's a little bit of a drive for me, but we went ahead and drove there today, and I just thought that it'd be really neat for you guys, especially those of you that live in other countries. Those of you who don't live in America, you probably, haven't had a chance to see something like this. And for others of you who've never been to South Carolina, just to see some historic stuff from here. Now, I wanted to go ahead real quick and just go over just what Redcliff, it's called Redcliff Plantation. It was owned by a gentleman named Henry Hammond. He's the one that built the place. It was built finished in 1859. So let me give you a quick little overview of this place before we go into the video. So, Redcliff Plantation, completed in 1859, was once the home of James Henry Hammond. 3 generations of his descendants and numerous African-American families like the Henleys, Goodwins, and Wigfalls, who worked at the site as enslaved laborers and later as free men and women. Now, one of the many historic plantations South Carolina is open to the public, this site encompasses the ambition, wealth, and power of James Henry Hammond, as well as the injustices and suffering forced on the hundreds of enslaved peoples who were forced to live and work on the land. A successful cotton planter, congressman, governor, and senator, Hammond spent his life defending the Southern plantation system and his status within it. Just one of the several historic plantations South Carolina is known for, Redcliff provides a setting for exploring and experiences of the enslaved, as well as the larger institution of slavery, and reflects the historical experiences and impact of the white and black families who lived and worked at the site. The extant slave quarters, mansion, and iconic lane of magnolia trees planted in 1861 served to highlight the plantation's rich and varied history. So, like I said, he was a governor of South Carolina. He was also a congressman and a senator, and I talk about it in the video later on, but he actually resigned as either a congressman or senator. I think when he was a congressman, he resigned because of the election of Abraham Lincoln. He didn't, want what Abraham Lincoln wanted to happen, because of course he had a plantation and didn't want that to go down. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Like I said, I know it's a little bit different, but I'll get back to normal videos as usual tomorrow. But once again, guys, I hope everybody had a safe, sober day today, and I hope you enjoyed today's video. Y'all have a great day. Well, this right here is the entrance to the plantation right here. We're on a dirt road right now to go up to it. It's been the same road here for a very long time, almost 200 years. And this is the entrance right here to the plantation. Redcliff Plantation. This is an actual old plantation home. I figured I'd give you guys a view of what it looks like going into this place. right there, back behind all those trees. And that little teeny building right there with the green roof, that's actually an old slave house right there. But we'll walk up to it here in a minute and I'll show you guys. We'll walk inside. You can actually go inside of it. The only thing about today is that they're not open for tours, so I can't bring you inside the house. The rangers are off on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. But it is really, really cool going inside of that house. Everything's still original. All the old furniture is in there. Old paintings. They've got a painting that is, I don't even know how large it is, but it is humongous. It's probably 12 feet by 6 feet tall or something. It's like ginormous. But you can see there's a lot of really neat old stuff up here that I'm going to show you guys once we get up to the house. But I really wanted you just to be able to see. I mean, look at how big those old oak trees are. They're huge. But like I said, we're going to go ahead and go up in here. And we are walking up to the house right now. You see they got these huge oaks up here. And that right there is one of the slave houses right there. But if you look on top of that building up there, on top of that house, there's a crow's nest. And I've been up there. We went up there years ago. They weren't supposed to take us on it, but they took us up. And you can see all the way into Georgia. These are all live oaks. And the thing about the live oaks is they used to actually use these live oaks. I don't know if they use these here, but the live oaks were made for shipbuilding. Especially down in Savannah, Georgia. They would take the live oaks and turn them into wood for the ships. Because of the way the branches grow, I guess. You know, oak is very hard. But you can just see these beautiful, huge trees. It's really hard to see how big these branches are in scale, but this branch right here is humongous. I would say it's probably bigger than a 55-gallon drum, probably, in diameter. Just humongous. These are old trees. But here's the old house. Just beautiful. We'll walk around to the front and I'll show you the wraparound porch that's up there. We'll walk up there. I'll give you some of the landscape of this property. He had a French landscaper who did all the terracing out here on the property. It's really pretty. So these right here are the tea trees. These are actual tea leaves that are right here. And these were planted in 1935 from what I understand. These are tea trees. It's got these little like fruit, little berries on it. It's the front of the home. It's a big wraparound porch. And yeah, this is back in the day before air conditioning. So the homes were all built so the sun would, rise and fall, based on the keeping the house warm during the winter and keeping it cool in the summer. They were very particular about the way that they put the houses up. As you can see now, the sun's right there. But we'll go ahead and walk up there onto the front porch so you guys can check that out. We're up on the deck now. It's got a little bit of a tilt to it. I don't know if that happened over time or if they actually built it like that to keep the water from settling on the porch. Got these huge columns, solid wood. You need to see this property. It's just absolutely beautiful. With the way the trees are right now, you can't really see the way that the terracing is made throughout the property. But all out through here, all through there, there's terracing that they cut out of the ground. It was all done by hand. Really pretty. This is all the original wood. That's how it's been painted over many times. There's a whole bunch of magnolia trees out here. There's all kinds of trees that they planted out on this property. Crab apples, and they've actually got a really big garden that they right over there, and I'll walk over there at some point and show you guys. Looks like they cut down a big live oak over there. Looks like there's a big hole in the middle of it. Bunch of bees. We're gonna go ahead and walk off of this porch now. Got these rocking chairs out here. Imagine living here, 150 years ago. I'm walking out and looking at this view. I mean, just think how pretty that would be. So they have all kinds of wildlife out here, trees. I'll show you guys the old driveway. People don't come down this driveway any longer, but I'll take you up there and show you that. Walking up here to this little garden that they have out here. And you can see these little places they've dug out of the ground. These places that are dug out like this, they've been doing some archaeology. Where this is marked out, there used to be a building right here in this location. And they've been digging all this up. This right here, this rosemary bush, I actually propagated off of this. I just took some cuttings off of this, I think last year, put it in water until it rooted, and I planted it at my house, and they're still going strong as of right now. I actually got some thyme from this garden as well that I propagated, which is right here. You can see they have some mint there. We need to get some of this thyme too, so I can propagate some more. What I had last year died. But all this, all that fresh mint. And then they have these grapevines right here. This actually, he at one point, Henry Hammond, who was the owner of this home, had 10 acres of property that was over there in the corner that he was trying to grow a grape vineyard because he was trying to do wine. You can see some mistletoe up there in the top of that oak tree right there. But let's take a look at that right there. That is just beautiful. And this tree right here, I can't remember what, I just was speaking with the park ranger, or one of them, And she told me that this is the oldest tree in South Carolina, the biggest, oldest of that type of oak tree right there in South Carolina. It is the oldest one, and like the most prosperous one in South Carolina. It's like a red oak, red something oak. I'm gonna walk up there and see if I can find a tag on the tree, because they have a lot of like bronze tags on these trees to tell you what type they are, because there's a whole lot of trees here that he had brought over here, a lot of fruit trees. And actually too, on the front of the house, I was asking the ranger with her, and she told me that the trees that are out there, I was wondering what they were. You got that cooler? I was wondering what they were, and she told me that they are actual tea trees that were planted here in like 1939 or 1935, so around there. So there's actual tea trees here, which is just crazy. But we're about to walk up here to the Magnolia Lane, which is the actual original entrance to the property. Here, that is the driveway now, but right here is the original driveway that was built in the 1800s. All the magnolias were planted by hand. They were not original, and they were planted. I was talking with the park ranger, and they were planted by the enslaved that work here. All the work that was done on this property, unfortunately, was done by enslaved people. This was a plantation home. There were people that were owned that lived here. It's one of the sad things about this area. It's just part of it. But that's the history of this land. And I'll take you guys over here and show you some of this terracing that was all dug out by hand. Right over here is where they actually had the vineyards. And then right here, and also the park ranger was telling me that they had some oak cork trees that were planted for the vineyard. And the last one fell down during an ice storm back in like 2015. But she said that you could still see the remnants of it. She said you can still see the trunk. So I'm gonna take a look at that. But as you can see, this is the Magnolia Lane. A lot of the old plantation homes have driveways like this. But just look at these old magnolias. And I'm gonna walk down here to the end of this road, and then we're gonna get a visual coming back, like if you were to drive onto this property. So here is the front entrance. And this entrance has been here since before cars were around. So think about the horse and buggies that would pull into this area, come down this drive. I'm gonna turn around here in just a minute so you guys can see. They've cut a bunch of stuff down right here. Now we're going towards the house. So as you can see right here, and I don't know how well you can tell, but right in this area, this is where the terracing is. This is part of it that was all hand dug. So it goes all the way around and all through the property. There's all this terracing that's been dug out by hand. so that you can see when you're standing up on the porch, you can see these curved lines all through the property. Like right here's another one. You can really pick up on that one right there. You see the red clay. This is South Carolina red clay here. All these trees that are out here were all planted. From what the lady was telling me, that he had a whole bunch of fruit trees brought into this plantation because he wanted to be self-sufficient, have all grows on fruit. He grew, like I said, they had tea trees here, all kinds of things. And there's actually a pond on the back of the property as well. But I'm gonna turn this around again. There's some more of it right there. And then you can see again, right here, terracing. And there's another terracing over there. Oh look, more prickly pear. Check that out. You got these things all over the property. So I just got the one of these prickly pears. I'm gonna cut this thing open so you guys can see its fruit. Look at that. It's all good stuff right there too. Beautiful fruit. And like I said, you just take this and just burn the outside. It gets rid of those spikes. You can really see them on there like that. But this is really, really tasty stuff right there. And I actually took a bunch of these, propagated them from this plantation and took them to my house. I'll have to show you guys. I've got a bunch of these prickly pears on my property. And you can see the terracing. Right here, some. You can see how it kind of leads up, like right here some, and then right here. And going up to the house right here. Here's a triangle right there. See it?
That one didn't walk. What triangle?
Right over there.
This is high.
This right here explains the it says Arcadia is a place of simple pleasure and peaceful scenery in Greek mythology. Hammond wanted Redcliff to become his version of Arcadia. He worked with Louis Berkman's of Fruitland Nurseries to design the landscape of Redcliff into his vision, which resulted in terraces still here today. It says, look ahead and see visible lines in the land that descend away from the mansion. These are terraces carved out by enslaved people whose lives were far from removed from Arcadia. The terraces created a grand visual impact for visitors and highlighted the mansion's position on the site. And right here is a letter. It says from 1861, James Henry wrote, and James Henry Hammond was the guy that built this house. He was the governor of South Carolina for 2 years. He was also a congressman for 2 years and a senator for 4 years, I believe. But anyway, he actually stopped, he quit as a congressman, I think, because of President Lincoln's election. In protest, he resigned. But from what I understand as well, he was not a very nice person and did some pretty nasty things to some people. He had quite a few affairs with some of the people that worked here, and some of them were quite young, from my understanding. He also, there's something called the Hammond Scandal. He was actually, those are pretty awful things. I'm not going to say what it was, but the park ranger was telling me all about it just a little bit ago. Just horrible stuff. But this guy was very influential in South Carolina. Owned 3,500 acres of land. This was one of his 4 homes in South Carolina. He had 3 in this area. One with 3,500 acres, another one like 2,500 acres, and this piece of property, and I can't remember how many acres they said this was, but it's rather large. Walk it up here to the barn. See right here where the people have been walking in and out of here and tore it up. These are all horse stables right here. Pretty neat. There's an old buggy. See where they would put their old lantern right here. And as you can see here, all these bricks say Augusta, Georgia. They're all made in Augusta, Georgia. These are some old bricks. And we have plenty of red clay around here to make them. And this right here is the old cistern where they stored their water. Really neat. And this is probably about 25 feet long. I don't know how big it is down in there, but I would imagine it's pretty large. And where you see these pipes on the ground, there was a building there once that was torn down. That's about it, guys. And right here, we have a whole bunch of prickly pear that are growing out here, and these are super old. You can see the old growth in here. But there's prickly pear right there. You can see them all growing in here. Here's a whole bunch of prickly pear. You gotta be really careful with these things. They have teeny tiny little spikes on them that grow on them, and if you touch them with your bare hands, you're gonna get little spikes all in you. But best way to do them is you take these and use gloves, pick them off, and then throw them in a fire real fast or over a flame. It burns the spikes off. A whole bunch more prickly pear right there. And then over here as well. I think we're gonna have to get some of this fruit, guys. Take back with us. Forgot to bring gloves, but I got a handkerchief we could use. See, they look like they're not all the way ripe, but really pretty. So this is the one of the slave houses right here, or slave cabins. We'll take a walk inside. I was just talking with the park ranger and just got a whole bunch of history on this place. Some old gourds there hanging on the wall. Here's some old documents, actual papers of, looks like the people that were enslaved here. Yeah. That's the front of the house right there. That's those columns. Patience Crawford from 1866-1950. Time Life Publications. Alfred Eisenstadt. Was friends with the owner of this house. So these were actual pictures that were in Time Life. Crazy. You see some old clothes, cotton. There's some more people that were here. There's a little fireplace. Here's some pictures of the same cabin right there from 1936. They were constructed in 1859, renovated in 1935. Another room here. There's a cow right there. An old yoke, some buckets. There's an old wood burning stove. Another fireplace right here. Old oak floors. And bench. Neat stuff.